What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Danny's to Talk. I am your host, Robert, aka Father of Vash, and we are back another week to talk about some more Ranking of Kings with episode 2, The Prince and Kage. So, before I get started, as always, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. But if you're a returning viewer, then welcome back. If you're not already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure to like this video and leave a comment below. Let me know of your thoughts of the episode. So let's freaking just dive right in because this episode wasted no time. And I did not expect things to get as deep as they did. Because y'all remember last week's episode, it ended off with Boji facing off against his brother. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool, that's where we're going to go. But little did I expect to get this, tragic backstory for Kage, the little shadow creature. Like I said, totally unexpected. And I did not expect for me to get feelings and to feel the pain from this odd looking little just black shadow blob, that you see on the cover for the series. But man, no wonder he's the way he is now, because when they go into the flashback for him, it is brutal. It just starts off just showing, and obviously spoilers for the episode, obviously, but it just jumps right into showing members of his clan being surrounded by this by these guards, which I guess they're from the Light Kingdom or something of that nature, or the Light Clan or something of that nature. And we just see them getting surrounded, and just all these dudes with spears just taking them out. And I was like, okay, was not expecting that. And then, we see him running off with his mother and stuff. And that was just so sweet, just seeing little baby Kage just holding his little horse on wheels or whatever it is, just looking so adorable, but also so frightened at the horrors of his life, because like I said, I just was not expecting, we knew that things, that his whole clan got wiped out, but just the scene when they had the mother cornered, cause the mom told Kage, hey, run off towards the toxic forest, and I'll catch up. And then the guards catch up to her, and they're walking up to her with their spears on their shoulders, with just 4, 5, 6 of their clan just on it, some rotisserie or something. It was brutal. And then just seeing his mother all cut up and stuff, her blades broken from her trying to fight them off. It was just very sad. Just to see that's that's what led him to where he is now, or the beginnings of it. But luckily he had this savior, this little girl named Countess Potice, or Poise, sorry. Pose, something like that. I'll just say Poise. But this little girl, her and her guard basically covered for Kage, because when Kage was trying to make his way to the forest, he was like, man, I am not going to make it because the forest is too far away. But then he runs into them, and then he hides inside of her little stuffed animal that she has. And yeah, we kind of find out her guard or whatever, he mentions that they were that they served whatever king or whatever. So they're like, okay, this is the least we could do. But we have a moment to where when the guards are starting to leave, Kage looks up from the stuffed animal and he sees his mother like draped over the dude's spear, and he just like shrieks. And so the little girl has to like fake cry to, act like she's the one that's crying and stuff. And it's just like, good Lord, this poor little shadow child. And then, from there, it just, his hardship just kind of continues because he goes into town. He's trying to figure this all out because remember, like, he's like a tiny child when all this happens. So he's like starving, don't know what to do. All he has is this little toy car, and he sees people in the market, having money to buy stuff, whatever. So he's like, hey, I'll sell you my toy for an apple. And this lady's like, nah, I don't want your crappy toy. But anywho, so he goes through that. Eventually, he ends up just like putting his toy up for collateral basically and just steals an apple and bolts. And he ends up coming across this guy who ends up bringing him pretty much like less than scraps to feed him and stuff. But he ends up taking him in, has Kage working to the bone, doing all this little stuff for him, but just has Kage just doing all these type of crazy things or whatever. But eventually he kind of takes notice, like, okay, that's like what Kage can do. And so thus begins Kage's journey of like stealing and thievery, as he's using Kage to go into all these different buildings and to steal and rob from people. But of course, it all comes full circle because, of course, the dude, he's gambling all the money away, and he ends up getting a flyer, I guess, that had Kage's face on it or whatever. He ends up turning him in for more money. Kage's on the run, and basically the dude ends up, in the end of this, he unfortunately ends up in a brawl in the bar, gets stabbed, and then he realizes at the last moment that Kage cared for him and stuff, and just the bond that they had made over all this time. And he just cries as he freaking passes away. But going from there, then we kind of like see like what led Kage to meeting Boji from there. And that kind of brings things back full circle to where the first episode started off with Boji running into him, or him running into Boji, whatever, in the forest, and then we cut back to the fight. Now, the fight, Boji was going in, just ducking, bobbing and weaving his brother, but everybody is seeing what Boji's doing as cowardly. Of like, oh, if you were a real king, you would not be dodging, you would be taking the hits, and you would basically be fighting on equal ground. And so his freaking trainer tells him in sign language, basically like, yo, stop doing that, stop dodging, take the hits like a man if you're really trying to be king. And then it just began just this brutal beatdown from his brother, because Boji, he's doing his best to block and stuff, but his brother's just going in on him unrelentlessly. And freaking, it just leaves Boji to end up beaten to a pulp. And in that moment, we have the one of the four main guard dudes. I think his name is like Apotheus or Apes, whatever his name is, the dude with the spear. He like launches the spear to basically like break up the fight, and then he's holding the I think his name is Demeus. Forgive me if I'm misremembering the names, but basically it's holding him accountable of like, yo, why are you letting this happen? And now Boji's brother has the big head, being all smug and stuff like, yeah, things are going according to plan. As we have this weird moment where he goes into his room and he says that, yeah, everything's going the way you said it would. And there's like some shadowy figure or whatever, like some, I can't remember like what fantastical movie, but basically like the figure, like mirror on the wall, type of stuff, which is very weird and just like very makes me curious like what is up with that, and how that's gonna come into play. But from there we pretty much just have a moment where we see Bojji just like laid up in bed, damn near full body cast, but even still, Bojji is determined to continue to push and move forward. He's not, he's not letting himself stay down. He rolls out of the bed, crawls over, and tries to pick up the sword. And he is just like with all his might and muscles, just like struggling to hold up this sword. And Kage is just, in the room just watching him. And it's just so heartbreaking just to see. But then we have this beautiful moment where Kage comes up to him and basically is like, hey, I want to be in your corner. Basically, I want to be there to witness you become the king, the greatest king. Because I know you can do it. Hey, you did freaking awesome in this fight earlier. And then he says, I know this might sound weird. We just kind of meet each other. But I want to be in your corner from now on, no matter what happens. And so it's just like getting the context of what Kage went through and his backstory and stuff, and him seeing how people are treating Bojji. It just like it's basically like a perfect match of these two to form this bond and to go on this journey for Bojji to become the greatest king. But it was just like another fantastic episode. That intro, man, the intro music just continues to slap. It just sounds so freaking good. But yeah, man, it was just another fantastic episode. Like I said, I just was not expecting things to get that freaking deep with Kage and just seeing everything with his mother and his clan and stuff. That was tough. But it was necessary, like I said, for us to better understand why he is the way he was when he first met Bojji. And just like, hey, give me your clothes, buddy. Hey, just give me your stuff, whatever. And he was taking advantage of him. But like I said, once he saw how people were treating Bojji and the life that Bojji is living, he has that connection of like, okay, I know what it's like to be doubted, to be kicked, to be beaten to a pulp and stuff. And so he really cares. He truly cares for Bojji. And so this was just like a fantastic episode to just like cement their friendship and stuff. So yeah, I am just super excited to see what next week brings. Because like I said, I just thought we were just going to continue the fight from last episode and, and maybe get some more aftermath of that. But I did not expect what we got. But it was fantastic and it was freaking beautiful. But I think I'm just going to wrap it up there. As always, if you have, any questions or thoughts or whatever, put them in the comments down below and just let me know what y'all thought of the episode. And just let me know what y'all thought of this episode. What you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, if anything. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure that you're also subscribed to the Dad Needs to Talk podcast on your podcast service of choice, so you can hear me talk about more praise on Ranking of Kings, as well as lots of other anime, manga, games, and just life talk in general. But y'all be easy, and I'll catch y'all next week for the next episode of Ranking of Kings. Peace.